Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today, we are joined by Andres, who is going to be telling us about his journey from an engineer to becoming a solar salesman to now a handyman and realtor. So, welcome on.
Thanks, man. Appreciate. Cool to be here. I see your little logo back there. I love it. It's been a while since we've chatted, right?
Yeah, we met. Where did we meet originally? Was it a real estate meetup, I assume,
Yeah.
of some
Yeah, it
sort,
was like
or?
a mastermind that they were having the Bulkley brothers were having like a mastermind,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
and then that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was right when I moved that was like 2023, I think, when I first moved to Vegas. It must have been maybe it was 24, 23 or 24. It was
Yeah.
23.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was a
yeah.
while ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean we were
so
just looking. No, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, so it's been a couple of years, but you've
Yeah.
transitioned what you've been working on over these years. So do you just want to give us a little background of like your story of where you were and how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, so when you and I met, I had just quit my job because I was trying to I was just it was just a place that had stopped making sense for me. And I just left. I had a little bit of money in my pocket. And I was like, this should suffice, until I figure something out. And then, I was learning about flipping houses and real estate and whatnot. And, you know, trying to become relevant in that. That's when you and I met. Um, but there was a lot of failures there for me because there just was. It was just at a time where everybody was doing it. I made a lot of mistakes, so I didn't really see a lot of results there. Although I did learn a lot. Um, and then my buddy Taylor, remember him? Do you remember
I
him
think
more or
so.
less? Yeah, I
I
was
think
actually
so.
hanging out with Taylor the other day, and
Hmm.
actually, this is his dog right here.
Okay.
I'm watching his dog right now while he's in Texas. Uh,
Nice.
but I met him in that orbit too of like, the wealthy investor, like Ryan Pineda's brand and that group of people. I met him through there and he got me into doing door-to-door sales. And so I started working with him, and that was pretty cool. I was seeing good results there for a while. I was learning how to do door-to-door sales basically with him. He was a good mentor in that regard. And then I decided to kind of, this is working out, so I'm going to try to grow in this thing here. Um and I decided to like started closing my own deals um set appointments for. But then I looked at the numbers and I wasn't thrilled with kinda like the way solar was,
Hmm.
um, to say, that's the gist of it. It's just I was trying to grow and I inadvertently realized something about the industry that made me not wanna be in it anymore, and so, I didn't really quit. I still was needed to pay the bills and whatnot, but, it just became a thing of became a weird thing of going to people's houses to try to sell something that I had stopped believing in.
Hmm.
So obviously that energy is picked up by people um and that was the end of solar for me. Like I went from doing all right as an appointment setter to just nothing forever after that. Um I actually did close one deal by myself. Um, and I actually sleep well at night because I was able to put together a plan for this person to obtain savings through his solar program. But
Hmm.
there was a lot of ensuing issues with that project. So, it took me way more. There was a lot of unforeseen involvement after the fact that took up a lot of my time, and it got close to being like litigious, you know? So that was a
Mm.
little weird, and it was crazy. And then I would set appointments and they would cancel, or because obviously cancellations are normal, so that's fine. But just viewing at it statistically, it just didn't make sense. You know what I mean? It was just like one negative thing after the other, and that gave me pause to be like, all right, this is clearly not what I need to be doing. Like, I don't
Yep.
believe that God shows up at your door to tell you things, because you know that's impossible. Uh, but I do feel like he does kind of speak to us in some ways, uh, and results are a big way in which he tells us things that we ought to be doing. So with those results, I was like, I can't keep doing this, and I actually started driving for Lyft because I got to a point where I needed money like today. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. Like those solar deals, there was one that we closed, and then I mean, you're probably aware of all the issues, financially speaking, that these solar companies have been going through for a while now. So our group of salespeople got caught up in all of that, and like there were deals that were closed that we didn't get paid on. Like, you see how crazy that whole it's like a Wild West situation.
I,
But anyway, I was driving for Lyft, and I was this close to going back to my old job with my tail between my legs to be like, hey, I was just kidding. I'm back. You know.
yep.
Um, yeah, I was like, "Hey, I was just joking. Like, let's manufacture some plastics for medical devices." That's what my job was. I
That's
was a
cool.
manufacturing engineer at a plant. It was a cool job. It definitely was, and it made sense
Yeah.
right out of college. And I was
Hmm.
married at the time, so my wife was working at this marketing firm. So after I got a job, we were both just kind of like living it up, that double income, no life thing, oh, no kids thing, and but then I got divorced. No, but yeah, seriously, it was just all these changes around COVID time, including COVID. It was a divorce,
Mm.
COVID, and then like after all that, after the dust settled from all that, I was like, all right, well, I'm just a single guy at a job that I hate. So let's try to do something about this, and then I quit, and um, but then I
So when
almost
you
went
quit,
back.
you wanted to get into flips. Was that what it was? You wanted to start
Yes,
flipping?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I didn't so it's funny because, going back to the Pineda thing, he started flipping couches, right? And I
Hmm.
was like, I was still working, and I started doing that with my buddy that I worked with, because I don't have a truck. He has a truck, so we started doing it together. And that was seeing seeing results in that, as simple as it was. I was like, okay, that kind of started to make my, I guess, entrepreneurial juices flowing, and then you know, um, I kept digging into Ryan Pineda's content and stuff.
Yep.
So then there was this webinar, which led to an event. You know how they do it. Like, now I understand everything, and that's cool. That's genius. But I was like, okay, and then I signed up for the program. So that's how I entered being a W-2 guy to what I am now, which is, I guess, a self-employed, realtor. Because it's crazy that I work for myself now, or obviously I work for everybody, but you know what I mean. That's crazy to me still to this day,
Hmm.
but now I
Yeah.
now
They're
I know that I'm
self-employed.
there. Now I know that I'm there, and it's like, okay, I think I'm fully mentally out of W-2 mentality. Um,
Yeah.
and it was not too long ago. But that's how I did that. And then again, like I said, flipping houses didn't work out for me, um, for a lot of different reasons. A lot of that was, you know, me not having the right edge. as a beginner. Um, there was also I was operating with a lot of fear at the time because it's like, you hear these experiences of, yeah, I bought this house, but then there was a ghost living in there, and the exorcism was like $100,000 or whatever, and I was like, that's outside of the budget. That's the joke. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, there you go. Um, but yeah, so I was a lot of that. I was kind of like dragging and like an anchor. You see what I'm saying? A little bit
Yeah.
in trying to move forward in this world. It's like I was sailing, but kind of with an anchor that I had refused to bring up. And it was based on fear of an experience like that. Obviously, the ghost example was a joke, but like a bad foundation or whatever, right? Instead of the ghost thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah. And so then that's after that I was like, okay, well, the cash conversion cycle is much quicker in sales, and I do want to learn about sales because I had learned about sales during the training. Um, and I was kind of like I wanted to do free marketing, especially in the beginning, because I know a lot of people that spend a lot of money on marketing in the beginning, and then they would just lose all that money. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right, my marketing has to be free in the beginning for sure, right? Um, and I was like, door to door sales seems pretty cool. I'm kind of willing to do it, because nobody wants to do that. It does
Yeah.
suck to walk up
Especially
to a
coming from
house.
an engineer. Engineers are kind of opposite of salespeople generally. So
Yeah,
it's a big
yes,
transition.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. But I've always liked to talk and, be around people, and I like socializing. So I wanted to capitalize on that aspect of me to try to make that work. And it did, like I said, it did. It was just it only worked temporarily because, like I said, God looks out for you, and that helped pay the bills at the time. But then it was like, all right, you need to figure something else out. You can't be doing this for a while. And then, so imagine that going from all that to like driving for a Lyft, which, as fun as that can be, it's no sustainable way to live. I mean, your
Yeah.
car it puts a lot of strenuous. It puts your car through hell, and there's a cost there, yeah, and it was paying less and less, it seemed like, every time. Again, that was only a temporary thing, but anyway. And then
Hmm.
my friend told me about um this app called TaskRabbit, which is kind of like Thumbtack. You know about Thumbtack.
I don't know about Thumbtack. I have
But
TaskRabbit.
you do know about TaskRabbit? Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Thumbtack, I feel like it's a little more popular, so that's funny because
Okay.
you actually did know the one I was talking about. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like,
I don't know where
really,
I've heard it somewhere from somebody, so heard of
yeah.
that one.
Well, hey, if you're ever in Vegas and you go in there and you need, some plumbing stuff or whatever, you're gonna see me for sure.
Yeah. So your
On
friend
that
told you
app.
about this app and then
Yeah, my friend told me
um
about that app, and it just kind of took off in a crazy way because the first thing that I got hired for was to do like to change bulbs, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I could do this for $25 an hour, until I figure something else out. So it was very easy, but then the jobs kept progressively getting crazier, but not too crazy, right? Like
yeah.
that's why it's important for me to stress the fact that my first job was a super easy thing, because it could have easily been like, hey, I need a Tesla charger installed. And I would have been like, what
Let
do
me
you want
pull up
me to do
YouTube
about
real
that?
quick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. YouTube has been definitely instrumental in success in this handyman stuff. 100%. There's so much information on YouTube. It's crazy. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Um, but it is tough to like do it. So that's another thing. I mean, I was in the Air Force for 10 years. I was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And
So you have some background in,
exactly.
and being an engineer, like you have a lot of experience with these things.
Background in tools, That's really what helped tremendously. Ever since I was a little kid, I was always opening things up, and I thought that was pretty cool. So you kind of see how like my whole history kind of does put me where I belong, right? Which is kind of like going back to that God reference. Because not only was I a
Mm-hmm.
little kid digging into things, but then in the military, I was a mechanic, and because I met a ton of people that have hired me for stuff, right? And I'm like,
Yep.
it'll be the type of situation where it's like, hey, I have to order a part and come back, and I even go like, but if you want to save the money, it's literally these 3 screws right here, dude. Like, you got a screwdriver, save yourself $150 or whatever, and they'd still be like, nah, just come and do it. I don't want to mess with it. I'm like, are you sure? It's just like, I'll just show you. So where I'm going with this is a lot of people don't are really willing to do any of that, and it's like a skill. Like, obviously the example of the part with the screws is very simplistic, but it is like like a skill. I was talking to a buddy of mine who was also a crew chief in the Air Force, an F-15 mechanic, and he started doing the handyman thing too, and he had this realization with me that, like, we thought that anybody could just use a wrench and make sense because it's so mechanical and in your face that it makes sense for everybody, but it really does not. You know what I mean? So that kind of like that made me
Yeah.
think of like, oh my God, okay, we all do have individual cool little gifts and stuff, Like, languages is another one for me that I realized is
Mm-hmm.
that I'm good at is
Okay.
languages.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm from Colombia, born and raised, but like when I travel, I haven't been traveling as much as you, but a little bit of reading something and I can actually like very easily interact with people on a,
Mm-hmm.
where's the library basis, but there is a back and forth that is not very, it's not like two aliens. So,
Yeah.
yeah, which is cool. And, that was another thing I was like, because my girl would be like, how do you do that? I'm like, what do you mean? I just have the translate app. But she's like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I have it too, but I'm like, oh, okay. But anyway, I
Yeah.
digress. Um,
Yeah. So,
yeah, and then the jobs kept getting like increasingly larger, but to a point where each one was a challenge, but like a handleable one. Like, I could handle it. I'd be like, I can do that. I was a crew
yep.
chief. I can do that. Kind of like at the gym, you had the 5 pounds on your max, and then you just give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now I've been doing these crazy jobs everywhere, electrical and plumbing, drywall. It's one of my favorite things to do is fix drywall.
Really? I suppose just
Beautiful.
fixing the holes. That's is
Yeah,
that a little bit easier? Because I hate like what is it, like putting it, like putting drywall up and then putting the putty
the
in the seams
compound.
and everything. It never
Yeah.
it's never smooth for me. I have to like sand it
Uh,
down like 100 times.
See what
I
I
don't
mean?
enjoy
It's
it.
a skill.
But
Uh, the other day
yeah.
I had a challenging one because it was a condo, and it had that kitchen setup where it's a fluorescent light bulb inside a hole in the ceiling, and then it has
Hmm.
like this frame, and it has the plexi thing, and then the light shines through it, kind of like that really old school setup. And this lady wanted to replace those with can lights, and then just flatten the rest of the wall, because inside of there like, so basically just cover the hole, and then
Hmm.
instead on that same area put 4 can lights. So
Yeah.
that was a big area. So sometimes big areas like that with drywall, they do get you're like, oh, because you're right, it's crazy. Like, it's very easy to you can see the tiniest bump on drywall.
Yep.
Like, it hits that right lighting, and you're like, "Oh, that looks terrible. Ew, like, I wanna burn this house down forever now." Uh, yeah.
Yeah. So how going to like the financials of this, how does this work? So with TaskRabbit, do they post like a per hour thing or is it a per task?
Yeah,
Or how do you charge your customers? Because like switching out
yeah.
light bulbs is a lot different than, drywalling a whole ceiling like that. So like how do you base your prices?
TaskRabbit is on a per hour basis, yes.
Okay.
Uh, so I started, like I said, I started at 25, and then I've slowly
Hmm.
worked my way up to like now, which is 55 an hour.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you charge the same rate then? Like it's just per time and it's not per project?
Yes. I mean, if I get I'm starting to charge per project if I have outside of TaskRabbit because I get a lot of calls all the time like, hey, from just referrals. So, I would say it's 50% TaskRabbit and 50% like organic referrals.
Great. Yeah.
So if I get a call like that, I'm starting to charge per the job because I have a better idea of how long they take and still try to be affordable, but obviously I do try to charge a little more outside of the app if I can. Um, you know.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah,
so
on TaskRabbit is per hour. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So your
Yeah.
your your main two ways of customer acquisition right now is TaskRabbit and then referrals. Um, and
Yeah.
then do you have any
Repeat
other sort
customer.
of marketing or is that just the main two right there and that
That's the
drives your whole
main
business?
two. That's the main two, and I honestly don't have I can't do more. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Big like
So
my
you're
funnel is
booked out.
yeah. Usually 10 days. I'm usually 10 days ahead of me. I know what's gonna be cracking lacking for the next 10 days on
Oh, that's
average.
great.
Yeah, it
That's
is. It
pretty good.
is. Yeah, it is. It is. It gives you that sort of like, hey, 10-day peace of mind is real, you know what I mean? Especially especially as an entrepreneur, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
how many jobs do you do a day with that? Because like, changing light bulbs might take, I don't know, 10 minutes, right? But
it's
so how
funny
do you
because
have
sometimes
jobs
it'll
that
just
last a few days?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll just be one big project that'll last a few days, and other times it's like 17 different trips in a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
Like,
variation with it.
yeah, totally, totally from like something big to just little things everywhere. Um, Sometimes it's like there's a photo booth company that they have these photo booths spread out throughout Vegas in like different locations, bars and mostly bars. Chicken and Pickle, have you been there?
I've seen it, drove by it,
Yeah,
haven't been to it.
yeah, yeah. Well, pickleball is the new craze, so I figured. But they have one there, and
Hmm.
they found me on TaskRabbit, and I just go and like change out the paper for the printer and the ink. Uh, so
Yeah.
that's kind of a cool little subcontracting thing that I have with those guys. So we have
Yeah.
like a group chat, and it's like, hey, chicken and pickle is low, you know, go change it, and then yeah, that's been bringing in some money because
Gotta ask for the free membership now there too. Get some pickleballing
yeah,
in.
yeah. Well, I don't get to do that. I just go in it. I don't get the free membership. I just go in.
Dang.
Yeah, I know, but I know how to print some pictures for free.
There you go.
So every time I go change the thing, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have fun with it.
I'm
Well,
testing it, making sure it works. Yeah.
bust out like 4 photos, and I think I have one here somewhere. No. Yeah, okay. I look like a douchebag in this one, but I'm still gonna show it to you. And it's funny because Gypsy is like a gay bar, in
Okay.
the so it's funny. But yeah, Gypsy's one of them, so I go over there and
There you go.
change. Yeah, Gypsy, chicken and pickle.
Nice. Well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
man.
So
So
so you've been
yeah, it's
doing
been
this
fun.
and
Been
then
a lot of
you
fun.
And then you got your real estate license. So what made you want to get your real estate license?
Um, well, it was well two things I think play a role here is I already was obviously interested in real estate as an investor, as we talked about just a little bit ago with how we even met in the first place.
Hmm.
Um, obviously there's power and not power, but there's benefit to having MLS access, even if you are not even, even if you're not an active agent. That information
Yeah.
is it's cool to know. Um, and then also, I mean, the other element of this was that sort of desperation of survival at the time because my brother-in-law got me into he called me one day and was like, hey, we're putting together a team in Vegas, um and I want you to be a part of it. And I was like, yeah, okay, why not? I had never thought of getting my real estate license. But I was like, this was right around the time when I started working with the TaskRabbit thing. It was right at
Okay.
that time when you reached out to me. So obviously, it was like, yeah, dude, if you, I won't say no to any opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so yeah, my brother-in-law got me into being an agent, and it's really cool because it's gotten us a lot closer. Um, and also it really has led to the networking of it has been really cool. Um, and the two worlds do mesh really well because I'm always bouncing between these two worlds because of each other, right? Um,
Yeah.
so somebody that it's a great way to generate leads, the handyman business too, for
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
So with
been
the realtor, does your brother-in-law, does the brokerage provide leads to you? Or where you get
yes.
your leads with? Okay, so they provide those, and then I suppose maybe some of your handyman jobs. Have you ever got a client as a realtor from one of your handyman jobs where somebody was listing and then they hired you? Or
Yes.
okay,
Yes. So it hasn't happened yet, but meaning it's not listed yet, but I
hmm
will have I had a listing appointment a little bit ago. There's going to be some traveling on their end, but they're trying to downsize. And what I did is I went and installed a microwave for them.
yeah,
Yeah. And he was in
and
the Air
then
Force. So we had a
okay,
lot to chat about and we just clicked, you know what I mean? Like we were like two people that if we would have been the same generation, we would have been good friends, you know what I mean? Um
gotcha.
so yeah. So yeah, we just kind of sit in touch.
That's
Um
great. Yeah, so it works out because they're symbiotic. Where you have your
yeah.
task jobs, your handyman jobs that can get you clients as a realtor. Then as a realtor, you can probably get jobs that go the other way around. So that makes sense. It all
Yeah,
meshes together.
it does. It meshes together and it's very serendipitous, you know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
it's like completely accidental. There was no insight on my end because I was talking about this with somebody the other day and she was like, "Ah, that's very smart." And I was like, "Yeah, but it was completely accidental. Like I didn't even think of it." Because at a time where I was like, what am I gonna do for work? My brother-in-law reached out to me, and then I learned about this app too, because the app thing wasn't immediate. Like TaskRabbit, I had to sign up for it, and I had to wait weeks to be able to start working.
Yeah,
So
I
and there was no
suppose.
like, oh, you have 2 weeks left. I had no idea. It was just kind of something. All right, well, I'll figure it out whenever they allow me, if they even allow me to. And then I got back from a trip to Japan, and I was like, they were like, oh yeah, you can work now. I'm like, oh okay, you know. Because I was like, I love Japan, but I'm pretty sure I was dreading coming back because I was like, I'm gonna have to go back to the old job and be like, hey guys, I'm back, you know?
Yeah, back to the W-2, but avoided it. So there we go.
Yeah. So then,
So
so then I get put in the situation where like literally there's like a tie point in time where I have these two opportunities basically present themselves. And now here in hindsight, they're making this sense that you've yourself just drew from it, which was how they blended together. Yeah. And
Yeah.
when it comes to relationships, especially, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a
So,
quick read from our sponsor, then we'll get back to it. But this episode is brought to you by DirectREI. If you're a real estate investor, you're probably juggling multiple tools just to find and follow up with leads. One platform for texting, another for email, another for direct mail, another for your CRM, and somehow you're still buried in follow-ups. That's exactly why I built DirectREI. DirectREI combines AI texting, AI email, direct mail, calling, skip tracing, and a full CRM in one platform. The AI handles conversations, qualifies leads, follows up automatically, and keeps everything organized so you can spend more time closing deals and less time managing your software. DirectREI is designed to help investors run outreach across email, SMS, direct mail, and phone calls from a single system. Whether you're flipping land, wholesaling houses, buying rentals, or working commercial deals, DirectREI helps you find opportunities and stay on top of every lead. Best of all, there's a free plan available so you can try it out without even having to take your credit card out. So head over to directrei.com and see how AI can help grow your real estate business. Now, back to the show. So, um, with
nice.
both of these things, with both your businesses right now, is there one that you are more focused on? It sounds like handyman business keeps you a lot busier than the realtor business would.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That is in fact true. However, this month I'm just gonna prospect all month. So June is gonna
For
be it's gonna be a prospecting
for
month.
the realtor side or
Yeah,
for both business? Okay.
for the
So
realtor side.
how do you plan on
Uh,
doing that? What is prospecting? Because I'm a realtor, but I've never really
yeah.
spent much time as a realtor. I just have it. So how do you plan on prospecting?
So I'm going back to door knocking since I already
Okay.
had lost that. That's gonna be one of them. And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through my CRM. All the people that I've met are on there. So I'm just gonna do some contacts. I'm gonna so sphere of influence. My goal here is to have like 5 conversations a day, um, and then do CMAs like comps basically.
Hmm.
Um, preview homes and like just a bunch of follow ups basically. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow up. I'm gonna hit up everybody on my CRM or as many people as I can. Um, So, and then I'm gonna knock around my neighborhood to promote both things, you know what I mean? So I have
Okay.
to actually like after this I'm gonna do my little pitch. Um, because again, being in solar really breaking that ice is gonna be really cool because now, I get to all right, again, nobody wants to door knock, but I'm like I could generate some leads door knocking, who knows?
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of your career progression has carried over into all the different
Yeah,
roles where the solar is going to help with real estate and handyman
exactly,
services and
dude.
engineering and your military experience helps with the
Yeah.
actual handyman service and
Isn't that
knowing tools
cool?
and everything. So yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It all flows together, which is
Yeah.
yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, if it's really cool when you see like an accident what you can only describe as an accidental plan, you know what I mean, for you.
Yeah.
Because being a handyman
Yeah.
can suck sometimes, right? As does everything, but it's just so fulfilling. But yeah, you just have to like it sucks, but like it doesn't really. It's more fun than it sucks. What I mean by it sucks is sometimes you're like, oh, I got another appointment in 30 minutes and I have water spraying in my face. I can't leave until this is fixed. So now you're
Okay.
stressed or whatever. But
Yeah.
it doesn't suck at all. It's actually super rewarding. But yeah,
Do you
dude,
have any bad
anxiety.
experiences with customers where maybe somebody was unhappy with something or maybe relate to something? Do you have any bad
Yeah,
experiences with customers or
couple
and
times.
then how do you handle that? Is it trying
Yeah.
to fix the problem that they had or is it sometimes it's just there are a small percentage of customers that are just bad customers, and then I suppose that's what it is. It kind of ruins your day. But
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
what's a bad experience that you've had?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because if you look at my numbers, you'll see those literally it's 3 reviews that are negative.
Mm, okay.
So that and here's the thing, one of them wasn't really one of them was unfair because it didn't warrant a 2, all right? But I do, like, understand why she was unhappy, so that's fair. And, I reached out and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, anything that you need me to improve, let me know, blah, blah, blah." This was kinda early on.
Hmm.
Um, but everything else has been really cool. I've racked up over 200 reviews, and they're all really good. On
Wow,
the app
nice.
on the app, I'm, like, crushing, you know, because getting those reviews was kinda like a cool thing also that I learned in, like, Wealthy Investor and, from your world and our world that we kinda share, which was, like a solid picture and, I started out very affordable. I kinda worked my way up, um, but yeah, I guess the way I marketed myself on the app helped, which is something that I kinda learned from these programs. So again, it's all kinda like all these different elements are kinda
Yeah,
blending in a
follow
way
over.
that is cool. But anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. The other 2 were BS. The other 2 negative one of them was super weird. It was early on, and I was also helping people move on TaskRabbit at the time.
Hmm.
Um, I took that out because like, I was just busy with much more interesting stuff that made me go down these rabbit holes of learning stuff, and that was fun.
Yeah,
Although moving was cool because it kept me in good shape too. So,
I
there's
suppose.
pros and cons to everything. But one of those moves was this dude who just was moving from literally from one condo to the one 2 doors down from it in the same complex. And it wasn't a lot of heavy stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll sure, whatever. And he was very nice, and he even asked me how to get on TaskRabbit because he was thinking about doing some work there. I'm like, yeah, you totally should. I
All
love
right.
this app. This is what you do. And then I got in the car. It took like an hour. It was an hour-long gig. It was so weird. And I
Yeah,
got in the car, and I got the notification that I got a review or so and so just gave you a review. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a 5-star for sure.
yeah.
And then I look at it and it was like 1 star, and it was like, "This guy sucked, he was rude, he was" and it was also, like, written in broken English. Um,
Interesting.
so yeah, he was Chinese, I remember,
Hmm.
and his English was okay, but obviously it was very broken in a way, and he even
Yeah.
wrote it in broken English like, "This guy sucks," basically. And I was
Interesting.
like, "Oh
Huh.
my god, dude, what?" I was more
Yeah.
in awe. I was upset, I guess, a little bit because it was completely unwarranted, and
Yeah.
people do look use a lot these days, so, and then there was
He's
another
probably
one,
trying to.
same
uh, It, do they pay through the app or do they pay you directly?
no, they pay through the app.
I wonder
Yeah,
if that's where they're trying to get a refund of some sort, where they complain and then they complain to
maybe,
the app and try to
probably.
get a refund. I don't, because that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
some people are just weird. Some people are just weird. So it could be that, but
yeah,
it could be
yeah,
trying to scam the app in some regard. But
100%.
it's-
It wouldn't surprise me, you're probably right, I mean, he did have, like, that strange sorta energy. One other time one other time it was a negative one where, um, what was it? It was something with a washing machine, and I told him like, "Oh, yeah, you don't need to really do this. This is what you do here." And I left, but then I still charge him like an hour, because I went all the
Mhm.
way over there, and I did diagnose it. They just didn't have the right parts. Um, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I got charged whatever the amount was, and nothing was even fixed. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, nothing was fixed, but I went over there and told you what was up." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm obviously not unreasonable, like, because people have, like, 2-hour minimums on there. I don't have that, like, you know what I mean? If you need
Mhm.
help, if it's an hour, I'll, because even if you drive anywhere in Vegas and it takes, like, it's still kinda worth the for me, to me, I don't know. But jobs aren't even lasting an hour anymore. They just take forever. But it's
Yeah.
been fun, like, Air Force people I've met doing this too. Um, I've been to some of the most beautiful houses in Vegas and like McDonald Ranch. Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be a cool part of the job for sure. Getting to check that out.
Yeah, dude. It's definitely the views are cool. The views are a cool part of the job. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's some of the on the other side instead of batteries, what's some of like the like that's a cool thing, getting to tour houses like that. But what's something like crazy or
Yeah.
any weird jobs or anything really exciting that you got to do?
Oh yeah, I do have a cool story recently. Okay, so you know the book Never Split the Difference, right?
Yep.
Of yeah. I was at his house
Oh, okay.
fixing. Yeah, yeah. His girlfriend hired me, on
Okay.
TaskRabbit to fix some closet lighting issue that they were having, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay." So I went over there, and I'm walking around, and there's, like, the FBI plaques and, like, and I'm like, "Oh, this lady must really be a fan," I thought to myself.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh my god, she likes him so much that she has his suits in here." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, this might be where he lives." And I'm like, "Excuse
Yeah.
me, is this is this Chris Voss's house?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's at the gym. He'll be here any minute now." And I was like, "Oh my god, really? That's amazing." But I'm done working, but oh yeah, no, I'm not done yet, I still have to. I didn't. I was just waiting for the guy to show up. I was very
Y
excited, and I did. He
yeah.
did, and I met him, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's really him." And it was cool, man. He signed a copy of one of his books.
Oh, really?
So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
that was
nice.
cool. Yeah, that's a cool story that I
Yeah.
have of my
Nice house, I said.
handyman. Yeah, you would
That's
ask
cool.
that, and yes, it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
It
That's
was
cool.
no McDonald Ranch mansion, but it was a nice house for sure, yeah. Very
Okay,
nice. Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. I love that
Gotta
question.
he'd be a good person. That's a cool story. Nice.
Yeah.
So, what do you
Yeah.
think about, I mean, I ask about the industry a lot, but I feel like this is always gonna be a needed industry. There's always gonna be people that need
Yeah.
somebody to fix things for them. So
I
with
agree.
I mean maybe not asking about the industry, but what about TaskRabbit? Do you think TaskRabbit, because that's where a lot of your leads come from, right? What if
Yeah.
that starts to fall off in the future? Is there plans for doing marketing of other sorts, or how would or do you think the TaskRabbit's going to stay like a strong, prominent platform for leads?
Yes, I think it is. Um, but also yes to your first question, which is, to we're just gonna make I'm just gonna, make myself visible on Google to the best of my ability.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. That's gonna be one thing, and having like a legit website and everything like that. But also I have to think about, where am I gonna go as a realtor as well? You know what I mean? Into that
True.
equation of all
Hmm.
these things that need to happen. Yeah, because I think, I've done 3 deals since September, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's
That's
been.
more than probably 90% of other realtors already. So
Those are
that's
results, right? Those are
yeah, that's
results.
good.
Yeah. Well, actually, I gotta be fair about that point because the middle one did fall through at the very last second. It was a crazy.
Okay.
I still count it because it did go from open house to like we're closing tomorrow, You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Literally tomorrow, the day before closing, because of some crazy stuff. But yeah, so 2 deals really, but the middle one was, it was at the finish line. That's why I still count it. It was just
Yeah, yeah.
for my
You
own.
did your job.
Yeah,
It was there.
exactly. I didn't get paid for it at the end, but yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Yeah,
what does it look
definitely.
like for you looking forward then? Because like you're talking about balancing the two. What's kind of your goal? Do you want to lean more into the realtor side? Or like what's your goal for the next year in terms of maybe numbers and then just overall how you're going to structure your business?
Yeah, so my goal is 10 deals this year. Well, um, yeah. So, again, it's gonna be doing the marketing things and the daily prospecting activities. Um, and then we have like a program with Zillow where they send leads and so yeah, I'm just gonna go hard into those channels to see if I can get ten deals this year. But this is the first month I've just kind of like throttled back on the handyman stuff, so I need to see
Hmm.
how that goes before I'm better able to answer that question because it could also be a thing of like, all right, I'm just gonna go back to 90% handyman, 10%, so this month is gonna be like 95% because I do have some scattered jobs here and there that I will fulfill.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't really have a super clear picture that far ahead for that reason, but I do have a goal of 10 deals this year. I mean, it's already June, so but we'll see. We'll try to get it as close as I can to that.
Yeah.
Then as far as the handyman stuff, I mean, I need to grow that too. I don't know what that really looks like yet. I do have a few people that kind of want to work. So it's like, how do I even go about that? You know, uh, but it is needed. Like, this is a very super like high demand and low supply thing.
Hmm.
There aren't. I don't know if there's a lot. There's many handyman around. Honestly, I mean, there are a lot, obviously, and small companies. There are handyman companies galore, but
But they're
relative to
not.
like the per capita, it feels like it's a low supply thing. I don't know.
Hmm.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't really know any. So maybe they're just not advertised well. So maybe I don't know how many there are. You probably know more than
Yeah.
me, but maybe they're just not advertised well. So that's an
Yeah, yeah.
opportunity where if you're, you know, 200 reviews is probably quite a bit. It seems like a lot. So you're
It's
probably
crazy,
on
right?
the
Yeah,
app. Like you're probably one of the top ones up there then. So that's an
yeah.
advantage to you. Um, yeah. So that's why do you want to do more of the realtor side instead of scaling the handyman business, or do you want to do both? You want because you could take on, like you said, you might have some people that
Yeah.
you could have like as subcontractors almost, where
Yeah.
you're employing them, and then that's how you could
Yeah.
scale up. Or do you have that in mind? Like, is that something you're thinking about doing?
Yeah, as you mean as far as scaling the handyman business to that level that you just kind of mentioned?
Yeah, because you said you had a couple people that were interested in like maybe working with you, or does that mean like
Yeah.
you were going to hire them or like as a per job basis, have them as a subcontractor
Yeah.
somewhat?
Yeah, yeah. Definitely. And what makes the most sense is a question that I would have to answer because right now I do kind of have that relationship with a few people where it's like, "Yeah, I have a ton of stuff. Can you take on this if you have time?" And then, just give me like $100 or whatever and then take the job. Um,
Mm.
Also, I could pay on a per hour basis because I do want to teach people what I know, so that they can make money this way because I feel like this is something that could save a person's life. You know what I mean? And one
Yeah.
of the reasons for that is because you get paid immediately, and a lot of people need money right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and then at that point, once they're educated on whatever, installing a new outlet or whatever, right? And I could be like, "Hey, go handle this outlet," and you know, I'll take it like small cut. I think something like that is like what makes the most sense if it
Yeah.
pertains to scaling the handyman business. Uh, but yeah, I do wanna do both. I do wanna do both. I don't know at what ratio, because again, and then hopefully later we'll have another podcast where we'll make sense of that as I've been making sense of all of this to current times, because these two opportunities came at a time where it was just chaotic, and now I'm kind of here with these two things, but I don't know what ratio, you know what I mean? Because I do want to do both. I know you're not really supposed to spread yourself too thin or take on many things, because you'll just kind of half asset all of them. Uh, but at the same time,
But
this is
they
probably some.
overlap. So a lot of it could be overlapping jobs, right? So it's not like you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
too thinly spread. So that makes sense. But yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
cool to see
exactly.
in the next 6 months, year, uh
Yeah.
how it progresses for you.
Yeah, and then, hopefully, yeah, hopefully I get to see you, by the end of the summer so that we can meet up. Remember when you pulled up to kind of have some pizza with me and chat
Oh
about
yeah.
keeping land? That was
Yep.
cool. That
Yeah,
was
it
one of those
was
really cool experiences that I had since my life has been kind of changing from all of this that we just described. That place is a Thai place now.
that's 180 from
Yeah,
like a
that place
pizza
has
pub
been
place to Thai.
That place has been 1,000 things in, like, 6 months. It's crazy, like, I've lived in this area forever, and that place is always something different. Like, there's the restaurants, it's usually restaurants, they never stick. They don't last
Hmm.
longer than, like, 2 years for some reason. Before the Thai place, it was a sushi place that never even opened. It never even
Oh
opened.
wow.
They were building this thing outside of it, and it ended up not never launching for some reason, but there's a ghost there or something in that
Yeah, that's
building.
you don't want to
So
open a restaurant there apparently
it's
'cause
so
nobody can make it.
bizarre. 'Cause that
Yeah.
restaurant we went to was so good and people loved it,
Yeah, it was good.
yeah,
Unfortunate. Well,
but then
yeah,
it
don't go
just
into the restaurant business. Don't go the restaurant business there. Sounds like it's
yeah.
gonna fail.
We'll see what
But
happens with Table Tie. I mean, I go there all the time still, so because I do love that place, but
yeah.
I can't keep
Well,
I'm just one customer.
yeah. Well, you gotta. I guess the other thing too is, like you said, you gotta do some more social media so you can stay up to date and
Yeah.
see what you're doing. But
Yes.
otherwise, where can people find you at? Where should they follow you? Where should they? How should they contact you if they need
Yes.
handyman services
Follow
or realtor
me.
service?
Yeah, follow me, please. So, yeah, the underscore Toledo, THE_TOLEDO. That's my Instagram. And Flagship Handyman Services is the business's Instagram. So yeah, check those out. And if you want some stuff done, we do plumbing, electrical, these beautiful chandeliers. I did a 200-pound chandelier at a house at a
Oh,
beautiful
wow.
house in McDonald Ranch not too long ago. That was crazy. We had to reinforce the ceiling. That was a negative experience when it came to payment at the end of the thing. But that's a story for later. But the experience was still really cool. This crazy, beautiful, super expensive chandelier. Hanging that thing
Yeah,
up was fun. Um, so yeah, hit me up on
that's
the gram
interesting.
if you need some work. Yeah, electrical, chandeliers, outlets, plumbing. Well, when it comes to plumbing, we're talking faucets, shower heads, even like plumbing drains. Soldering copper pipes. Like if you need to repipe a bath, a shower and stuff like that. Drywall repair, a lot of drywall repair. People be punching walls. I learned that. Um, because I'm always fixing. Like I'm always measuring. I'm like, yep, that was a punch. So
That's fist
so if you
size. Yeah.
yeah, so if you punch the wall recently, hit your guy up. I'll come fix it. on the gram. And yeah, TaskRabbit too, download it. It's a great app for customers and taskers, as they call us, alike. So check it
Mm.
out. You'll find me there too. More to come. Like I said, working on website, Google, some SEO strategies to get seen on Google there. Facebook is probably a good one as well for that. I always see requests for handyman stuff on some of the pages that I follow, even though I don't get on
Mhm.
Facebook much. So yeah, follow those two pages. I was doing so follow me and then like my moonwalk video because it went viral for me.
Did it?
4,000 views, but for me that's viral, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take a look
Like
at that. I don't think I saw that.
yeah, go check it out right now. Yeah, it's at 4133, so it's still ticking. It's losing momentum, but you're at the
It's
end of
still
the
going.
barrel of
All
the
right.
wave.
All right. Well, go check them out if you need any services. It's in the Las Vegas area. But thanks for coming on, and we'll have to check in with you
Dude,
6 months, a year from now, and see how it's all going.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. This
All
was
right.
a lot of fun. I appreciate you
Yeah.
having me.
Thank you.